Okay, let's go ahead and make our site responsive. Now I'm just going to do a very basic stack of our current layout because I want to move on from the design part of this series. Now Adrian did provide a fully mobile layout, but a lot of this stuff would take extra work. And like I said, I just want to move on to the functionality part of this series. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, before we do that, let me do a few quick fixes here. So if there isn't much text here, I want this to span the entire height of the card. So we can do that using Flexbox. So for this section, actually for this one, we can make it a flex container. Flex, let's make it flex column for the direction, and we can justify between. And that should make it span the entire height. And it does, cool. So let's add that. So let me just copy these classes. And let's put it in our code. So that would be with full MX4. So this one right here, just paste it in here. Okay. And also I want to add, or I want to make this container sticky. So when I scroll down, it stays on the page. So let's look for that. That should be in the layout app.blade.php. So where is it? Add an idea. So it's this container right here. This one here, I believe. And we can do sticky, and it's a top 8 or something. So there's some padding on top. Okay. Now it should be position sticky, and it is cool. Okay, so let's work on our responsiveness. So like I said, I'm just going to do a basic stack. So let's start with that. So I have another window here, and we'll work with this one. So let's start with this menu up here. So as you see, it is a flex container, and we can just do a basic stack, like I said. So it's a flex call by default, medium and above, flex row, and see what that does. Okay. And maybe some margin top on this one here. So let me grab that. Should be on the header. Header, oh, not header, sorry. Header here. Okay. And we can paste that in. That should be the same. And we can add some margin on this next section here. So flex item center. So this one right here. So we can do, say, margin top of 2 and medium and above, no margin top. Okay. So now for this, I don't want it to be sticky when it's mobile. So let's remove that. Where did I put that? Here. So these are only on mobile and above, or sorry, medium and above. So that should not be sticky anymore. Okay. And let's do a stack here. Actually, let's do in DevTools first. So we have, where's the container? This container here. And we're going to do basically the same thing. So flex call by default, and medium and above, flex row. Okay. So let's do that again on the container. So right here. Okay. And that should stack our idea container and the rest of it. And the width is fine for this. I just want to center it, so we can do that. So let's center this. I believe we can just do MX Auto here, MX Auto. Okay. No, that does not do it. Sorry, MX Auto on this one. Yes. So yeah, let's add it to that. And I believe we can just add it here, and it shouldn't affect the desktop layout. Okay. Looking good. Let's ensure that our desktop still works, and it does. Actually, I think it bumped it back to the middle, which I don't want. So let me remove this and see. Yeah, it did. So we can do MX Auto by default, and let's give it MX1, medium and above. Actually, I'm not sure if that will work. Yeah, that's fine. And this still works. Okay. Moving on. I'm going to get rid of this menu because that's how it is in here. There's no menu. It's only these filters. So let's get rid of that. So that would be this nav here. So it's going to be hidden on mobile, and medium and above it should be flex. So it should be gone, and it is, but still should be here. Okay. Now let's make these drop downs full width. So let's look for that. So we have these, so we can do width full and medium and above with 1/3. And that should be fine. So yeah, I'll just do that here. So width 1/3. Actually, it is in the index blade. Width 1/3. So yeah, we can do that for all of this. So here, here, and here. So width full on mobile, and for medium and above, or whatever breakpoint you decide to choose, should be here. Did that not work? Did not. Oh yeah, so we have to do the same thing we did earlier. So flex call by default, and medium and above flex row, so we can stack it. Okay, so now we just have to remove the space X and give it some margin on the top. So this is for medium and above, so it should be full width now. And it is. And we can give it space Y2 for mobile, or whatever we want. And that works, but it's the entire container. I think when I fix this, oh yeah, so I forgot to do this container. Then that should fix it. So we might also have to do medium space Y of 0. Is that even a thing? Space Y0? Yeah, it is. Okay. Just to reset it on desktop, just in case. Okay. Maybe we can go 3 for the space in between. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. So let's work on this container here. So that would be back in our app blade. Where is it? So this was the first add an idea container. And the second one should be here. So yeah. So on medium and above, it should be with 175. But it should be with full on mobile. Okay. And now we can see the chevrons here in our dropdowns. Maybe we can give it some padding too. So let's say, let's put it here. So PX2 maybe, and medium and above PX0. So yeah, that's good. There's some padding on the left and right now. Okay, let's make sure our desktop still works. And I screwed something up here. Looks like the margin is gone now. So what did I do wrong here? Oh yes, so this MX1 is overriding this MR5. So where did I put that? MX1. I guess I don't need this anymore. See if that works. So desktop is okay again. Actually, no, I screwed up the layout here on desktop because I added the MX Auto on this container. You can see that it adds it here, which we don't want. So I believe we can do MX Auto for mobile, but for medium and above, MX0. Will that do it? Okay, maybe medium and above, margin right of 5. Okay, so that should do it. Okay, so let's fix that right here. So MX Auto on mobile, but medium margin right of 5 and medium MX0. Okay, let's see if that. So desktop is as it was before, and mobile is still good. Okay. So now for the cards, let's get rid of this. So where the votes are, and we'll add this one here. So there's going to be 2 on the page, and we'll hide it depending on the viewport size. So when we use Livewire, we have to make sure to add the function to both of these voting buttons. Okay, so let's do that. So let's get rid of this section here on mobile. So that would be the one with the border R. So let's look for that. Where is it? So this one right here. And it should be hidden on mobile. And medium and above, it should be flex, or is it even flex? No, so we'll just say block. Okay, so let's do that. Let's add that to our code. So the div with the border R. Border R. It's not in here, it's in index. Border R. Okay, so let's add that. Let's make sure we didn't screw up our mobile layout. So it's only for this card. And I'll paste it in later for the other cards. Okay, so our desktop still works. And let's move this button and the status. So this 3 dots button and the status over to its own line here. So there's room for these. And then we'll re-add this votes section underneath that. So let's look for that. So this section is flex. And we only want it to be justified between on medium and above. And we can do the same trick, I believe. So flex call and medium flex row. Okay. And I guess I don't need this section over here. We can just leave it as justified between. Yeah, that's fine. And what about this? Why is there a margin left? Oh yeah, it's because of this. So we don't want the space X2 anymore. That's only medium and above. Okay. Still margin here. Not sure why. Okay, so it's because of this items center. We can put medium on that as well. Okay, so that bumps it over to the left. So let's copy this. And I'll make sure to add the medium on the items center. So where is this? MT6. Should be the first MT6. So yeah, it's this one, I believe. Yeah. So this is the first card. So we can paste that in. It's a medium item center and space X2. Actually, no, that one's okay. Okay. Oh yeah, so I'm also going to stack the title here. So the title will go underneath the image. So let's do that. Just do it in DevTools actually. So that would be this. So yeah, we can do the same trick we've been doing. Flex call, medium flex row. Okay, so that goes on the div with flex1. Flex1. So yeah, same thing. Flex call, medium flex row. Okay. And let's just give it the same padding as this. So what kind of padding do we have here? Or it's margin. So MX4. So let's put it on this one as well. So that would be this. So MX4 and medium MX0. Okay, so that's looking good. And let's just put some margin top on this section with the status. So that would be the one with the X data, or the first X data. And we want a margin top of 2 and medium and above margin top of 0. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Maybe a bit more margin, say margin top 4. Okay, so that looks good. And maybe some margin top here on top of the title. So right here, margin top of 2, medium, margin top of 0. Okay, that looks okay. Now for the votes, like I said, we will copy what we have here. So let's work on this section right here. Okay. So that's going to go, where's that going to go? Underneath this section here with the status. So let's look for open here. So right underneath this section here, let's add something here. Let's see if it goes in the right place. Voting stuff. Okay. And let's give it margin top of 4 and medium and above margin top of 0. And should be hidden on medium and above. But when it's not medium, it is a flex container. So it's a flex, items, center, and I already have the margin. So the first flex item will be where the votes are, and the second flex item will be the button. So let's do that. So this will be where the votes are. BG gray 100, centered, rounded XL like everything else. I have a forced height of 10 here. PX4 and PY2 is what I have for padding, and padding right of 8. Okay. And this first div is where the actual vote count goes. So text SM, font bold, and I have leading none here. And say 12. And this next section is the word votes. So I have text XXS, semi-bold, leading none again, and text gray 400. So let's see how that looks. I believe I should have a margin or a negative margin somewhere here too. Sorry, negative margin for the button, which we haven't worked on yet. So let's do that next. That looks good actually. So next is the button. So button, actually let me just paste this in. You've seen me do this 100 times already, and I want to save some time here. Okay, so I pasted this button in. Let's see how that looks. Again, it's just a standard blue button like we've been doing. And did that do anything? Okay. Actually, I copied the voted button. So this one over here should be the same thing for vote, but it should be not BG blue. So BG gray 200, and the word, or it should not be text white, and the word should be vote. Okay. Oops, wrong one, this one. Okay, and we just have to give this a negative margin so it goes into this container. So let's do that. So say negative MX4, maybe. Let's see, maybe a little bit more, maybe 5. Okay, so that looks good to me. So I'm going to give the same treatment to all of these other cards here, and I'll change up the titles as well, like I did before. So I'll be back after that. So I forgot to work on the menu that pops up when we click on this button here. And for mobile, it gets cut off here. So I'm just going to paste it in. But what I did was, for the margin left of 8, that's only on medium and above. And I played with the top and the right values. And this combination makes it so that the menu opens here on mobile. There it is. But it still opens in the same spot that it opened on desktop. So yeah, now I'll add the cards here. Okay, so I added a few more cards here, and I didn't bother adding the different statuses because we'll make it dynamic in a few episodes. But it's looking pretty good. And on desktop, it still looks the same. So let's go ahead and do the same thing on the idea page. So let's go to the idea page on our mobile layout here. And let's see what we can do. So that's fine. So pretty much the same thing here, just make it stack. And we'll make these buttons stack. And we'll get rid of this margin and just stack the comments here. So let's go ahead and do that quickly. So for this, I believe for this page, the username is gone now. So this username doesn't show for whatever reason. So let's just do the same thing. Let's make it stack. So show.blade. Actually, let's do it in DevTools. So this section So we'll put the image on its own line. So wherever the flex one is, we can do the same thing we've been doing. Flex call, medium, flex row. Okay. And we'll give this image a MX4. MX4. Okay. So let's do that. Wherever the flex 1 is here, flex 1. Here, flex call, medium, flex row, and MX4. Okay. Next, we want this section here to be on its own line, so let's find that. So it would be this flex container, and I believe we did medium, and we did the same thing, flex call, medium, flex row. Okay, so let's find that. Text gray, so it's right here. Same thing. It's this one here, so flex call, medium, flex row. This is medium as well. And let's see if that works. Okay, make sure this is still the same. And it is. So let's get rid of the username. Not sure why that was the decision, but if you want to add it, you can just add it on a line above. So this fits on its own line, but we can remove that. So this is medium and above block and hidden. So same for the bullet. Let's grab this and put it here as well. Okay. Looks good. I think this margin is too much. MX4 is it? Is it this one? Okay, so 2 is fine. So for desktop, I'll leave it as MX4, but for mobile, let's make it MX2. And I believe I have a margin top on this as well. So right here, margin top of 4 and medium, margin top of 0. Okay. And let's make sure to make the same change here in our main page. Oh yeah, so it's for all the cards. I'll make sure to change it for all of them, but I'll just change it for this first one here. So yeah, let's change the margin here. So back to index, the first one, wherever there's MX4. So yeah, these two here and here. So medium, MX4, and MX2 on mobile. Oops, MX2. And let's see if that changes the first card. And it looks like it does. Okay, back to the idea page. What's next? Next is this fixed? Okay, so we have to give it the same treatment. We also have to put a Z index on it. And that's what we have here in the index page. Sorry, did I add a medium on this one? Oh, I already have a medium on this one. So let's remove this one. Okay. And this, we have to give the same treatment. So this would be the menu, mark as. So yeah, we just have to grab this. And maybe also give it a Z index. So mark as spam. So it's this one, this class. And we can just paste that in. And let's also add a Z10 maybe. Okay. And that's good. Okay, so let's stack these buttons. Actually, if we get rid of the margin, then it should fit. So I'm okay with that. But these containers are too big, so we can make that a bit smaller. So it's these buttons, and there is a margin left of 6 on them. Let's make that only on desktop. Okay, but it's too far over now. Oh, so we have this too. So we want to get rid of this. and put it in here in the container, the same way we put it in our index page on mobile. So let's do that as well. So back to our index page, let's grab the votes section. So this is the desktop version, I believe. No, this is the mobile version. Okay, yeah, medium. And above is hidden. So yeah, this is the one. We can grab this and we can put it underneath this div here, I believe. Yeah, it should be this one. Let's re-indent that. And let's see if that works. Back here. Okay, so there's the voting section. So we no longer need this one here with that button. So we can get rid of that. So that would be the second flex item of this, I believe. So that's the first flex item. So that's the reply button. Yeah, so these are, yeah, so it's this one. And the second flex item is hidden on mobile. Where's the second flex item? This one right here. So medium and above, it's flex, and it's hidden by default on mobile. Okay. So what am I going to do with these buttons? I guess the reply is okay. You know what? I'm going to stack the buttons anyway, because when I hit set status, it gets cut off on the right. But if I stack them, then we'll have more room on the left. So let's do that. So this first flex item, where is it? Right here. Same thing we've been doing. So flex call by default, and medium and above, flex row. Okay. That's fine. Let's give it, or let's give this set status some margin top of 2, medium, margin top 0. Okay. And now we have more room. So we just have to shorten the container. So for reply, where's reply? We have this container here, and it's this width on medium and above. But below, let's make it, I don't know, 48. I'm just guessing here. Okay, so that's too small. 40 or 64 maybe. And I guess we can stack the buttons as well, which shouldn't be too hard. There should be a flex container with the buttons right here. And same thing, flex call, medium, flex row. And we can give them width full. So right here, medium, width half, width full by default. And same for the other button. Medium and width full. And this one probably needs a margin top as well. So margin top of 2, medium, margin top of 0. Okay. Oops. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And there's some space here because I believe of this space x3, which we only need on medium and above. Okay. And let's do the same thing for our set status. So where is that? Set status. So we have a width of 76 on medium and above. Let's give it width 64 as well. And we can do the same thing for the buttons, I believe. You know what? That looks good. I'll just leave it. Okay. Now for the comments. I'm going to get rid of this line entirely, as well as the margin. Or maybe I'll just get rid of the margin and just move everything over to the left. And that will just cover the line. So it's less work for us. So yeah, let's do that. First, let's make sure desktop still looks okay. And it looks like it does. So that margin is only on medium and above. Okay. And yeah, it's looking pretty good already. Is Is the user's name still here in the comments? It is. So user's name and the time. So I guess we'll move this button to its own line. So let's do that. Should I leave the comment here or put it on its own line? Yeah, we have to put it on its own line because this section here needs its own space. So I believe it's this again. Flex call, medium, flex, row. So I'll just do it for the first one again. The first comment. Okay. And we can get rid of the MX4 maybe on the comment. Yeah, so that looks decent. And now there's enough room here. So I'm just going to leave it. And this needs the same treatment as the other buttons with the menu popping out. So we can grab that as well. Where's that? Top. Right here. So medium, margin left 8 and all this stuff. And back down here. So we can replace this. And the menu should come up here now. And that looks pretty good. So yeah, I guess I'll just paste in the comments here. But we're going to lose this admin one, which is fine because we'll make it dynamic eventually. So yeah, let me paste that in so it looks okay. Okay, so I pasted in some other comments and it's looking okay. Let's make sure desktop still looks fine. And it looks like it does. So yeah, that's the basis of our responsive site. Again, it's nowhere near perfect and may require polishing later on, but I'm pretty happy with what we've done here. So there's the index page and let's make sure this still looks okay. Okay. And for the idea page, everything looks okay as well. Menu's fine. Menu's fine here too. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. So let's go ahead and make a commit as always. What episode is this? 8. Git add, git commit. Episode 8. Make responsive.